Don't go to Thereiver alone. Last 4th of July, my boyfriend and I went to the river with his friend's family. The river was so packed we could barely find a good spot to set up our little grill and chairs. We stayed for a few hours and had a good time. It wasn't until we were ready to leave that one of the creepiest encounters of my life happened. I don't know what else to call it besides a possible kidnapping or S*X trafficking situation. For context, I live in Arizona. My boyfriend, his friend, his friend's dad, and I were outside packing up one of the cars. His friend's niece sat in the car. My boyfriend's friend's mom and his sister had driven separately and sat in their car beside us. Two men drove up and parked right next to their vehicle. It was already a bit weird that he parked right next to us. Because there were quite a few available parking spots, the man rolled down his window, and I immediately recognized a man who was smiling. The biggest smile at me an hour or so earlier while he was tubing down the river. At first, I didn't think anything of it. But looking back, the smile felt so creepy. The man didn't say anything substantial. He just asked for directions or something and rolled his window back up and stayed parked next to our friend's mom and sister. We finished packing up and were about to head out. Everyone was sitting in the car at this point. Our friend's mom and sister backed up and started to leave, and the two men immediately followed after them. This few-minute time span literally has my eyes watering up. I'm so afraid to think what potentially could have happened. Thankfully, they picked up the phone right away. We could see them parked at the edge of the parking lot's exit, about to drive off. Our friend's dad just told them to come back. His tone was unusually serious, which only made the situation more anxiety-inducing when they did. A U-turn, so did the two men's car, but I think when the two men saw all of us outside of the car on alert, they decided to leave. Both the two men and the white van left at the same time, apparently, while the mom and sister were parked. The two men tried to speak to them and ask for directions again or something. I don't think they knew exactly what was said either. Part of me doubts anyone would try to pull something on July 4th. Probably one of the busiest days at the river and one of the days cops are out the most. But this still is one of the creepiest encounters of my life. And I'm hoping someone can make more sense of this for me.